All right, what's up, y'all? If you can hear me, press 1. Let me get a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. Streaming from a new PC so I can show you guys some things today. That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate the retort. Appreciate you being here, Benny. Happy Canadian. Good to see you again. Matt's Market, as always, please don't spam the chat. You know the rules. What up, Rick? Good to have you here, too. Okay. Well, yeah, let's jump right into it. We know that there is a special dividend coming. Let's take a look at some of the tweets that are happening. From Adam Aron himself that came out over the weekend. Might not be in order, but we're gonna go through some of these things. Let me pop that chat out, see if I can get that over here. And pause that so I get good internet. All right, where you at, Adam Aron? Chat won't load. Stream is slow, but you guys can hear me. Hopefully that chat loads up. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Pipe down, GP. Oh, buffered at first. Good now. What's up, Andre? Good. Yeah, it looks like we're running. All right, to sum it up, this is what Adam Aron came out with, right? To sum it up, the creation of APEs, APE, the new ticker symbol that will be the dividend from AMC. This is what he says. To sum it up, the creation of APEs should help clarify for you who is in our current shareholder base and how many company-issued shares there are, which I have to imagine that this man knows already anyhow, but should clear it up for everybody else. We'll see if that's actually the case. Beyond that, though, we believe APEs should let AMC raise capital, pay debt, and do more. Not good news for the doubters, and in my opinion, not good news for the shareholders. And I know this is the silverback ape here. This is the guy who we're looking to bring this company to the next level, back into profitability. But the fact is, it's not profitable yet, and this is a form of dilution. So let's just go through a couple of these tweets here. He says, let's clean up some FUD. This is Saturday morning he came out with these tweets. Let's clean up some FUD. Our new stock dividend of 1 APE means we give 1 AMC preferred equity unit, otherwise known as an APE, APE, preferred stock that will trade on the New York Stock Exchange with the symbol APE. It is not a cash dividend of 1 penny. The $0.01 reference is just a technical legal term called par value. And you'll see this in all SEC filings. We actually have the SEC filing, and I'll link to that in the Discord. The actual SEC filing for this. And you can go and find it really very easily for any company that you're looking at. You just go to their investor relations website, and you can look at their filings with the SEC directly through there. You can also find them on the SEC as well. What's up, El Snappy Tan? Good to have you here. This is our late night Sunday night stream covering this AMC dividend situation. So let's go over a couple more things. Biggest FUD of all on dilution. This is directly from Adam Aron's Twitter on Saturday morning. Some misunderstand or try scaring you. There's bad dilution and there's good dilution. If added liquidity gained from dilution is wasted, it's bad. However, if wisely handled, it's good. Indeed, for AMC in 2021, it was actually great for our shareholders. Now, I personally believe that this can be debated because on AMC's rise, there were days when things were down. And that means, if the stock market was working like it's supposed to be, it means there's more selling pressure than there is buying pressure. And there was a lot of buying pressure in the beginning of this move with AMC. I'm talking back $5 to $9, $9 to $14, $14 to $70. Well, what we found out was there was a lot of selling going on from AMC through a lot of these periods. Adam Aron was selling AMC stock into the market to raise capital for his business, and he did that to the tune of $2 billion, I believe. were the funds raised through those time periods. Now, he can't raise any more because the shareholders have to vote with AMC, but he found a workaround. So this is the workaround. The shareholders won't vote to allow more shares into the market because a lot of the shareholders are looking for the short squeeze. They want the shares to go up. Maybe not as concerned about a movie theater chain as they are the movement of this entire thing, because this is a movement, to spark change in the market. It's not just about AMC and a movie theater chain. So some misunderstand or try scaring you. Who knows? Maybe he's talking about me. Maybe he's talking about Trey. Maybe he's talking about Matt or some of these other guys that are kind of like, I don't know. Let's see what's going on in the chat here. If you guys have any questions, just fire them off. Rapid fire question me, and I'll tell you what I've learned over the weekend studying this bad boy. Don says, I've heard that brokers have been saying they are stating we have common stock, not the premium stock. So brokers are saying we have a common stock and they're going to pay us pennies. Well, that's interesting. Let's take a look at that. I think I have a tweet here from one of the brokers. I had my stuff in order. So this is a Wealth Simple response to someone asking about the AMC corporate action. And this is a response from Wealth Simple. Said, I've noticed you'd like to know about the upcoming AMC corporate action. We've reached out to our corporate actions team about this, and they've widely informed us that we need to wait for the CDS clearing brokerage to update the bulletin on it before we make any confirmations. However, if it is a special dividend to all, then all record date holders should be entitled to receive the preferred share or its equivalent. But without the bulletin, we cannot guarantee this for sure. I hope this helps. Thank you in advance. So not a whole lot of answers. And I know that people have been getting different answers and different things from different brokers that were saying that it's going to be a penny. And it shouldn't be. And Adam Aaron clears this up. Let's go ahead and let's go through the rest of these tweets from Adam real quick. He says, and while I'm on a roll this lovely Saturday, there's absolutely no dilution on this initial stock dividend payout on August 19th. Now, the dates are kind of weird here. This is a special dividend, and it pays out differently than your standard dividend that you're going to get from a stock. Because it's a special dividend, it's treated with special rules, and you can look these up, and I'll show you guys a couple of them here in a minute. So August 19th is a Friday, and then August 22nd is going to be the Monday. So this payout is on the 19th, and the payout is actually before the ex-dividend date, and that's because it's a special dividend. A special dividend is one that could potentially be over 25% of the value of the stock. So that's what's expected, and that's why it's a special dividend. And that's what Adam Aaron expects too, and we'll get to that. That is initially, but what he's saying here is no dilution on this initial stock dividend payout on August 19th. That doesn't mean that they can't go ahead and start to sell more APE into the market on the 22nd on Monday when it starts trading, which I believe if APE does go up in value significantly, that AMC will be looking to raise capital and sell some APE into the market while there's hype around this. He says you own the same percentage of AMC before and after, and that's true. That's true. There are 516 million shares of AMC that are listed, and there are 516 million APE expected to go out to those shares. He says it would only be dilution if we decide after August 22nd to issue more APEs above and beyond the initial dividend amount. But as I tweeted earlier, if we were to do that smartly, that could be very good for AMC investors. Our track record at AMC is excellent on this score so far. An interesting choice of words, on this score. And what this means by doing it smartly is, they would sell it into the market while there's a ton of demand and while the price is rising and up and high, so that they could make the most amount of capital and settle the most amount of debt from it. So there's the dilution tweet. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, we got to that one. We know about that. To sum it up, creation of apes should help clarify for you our current shareholder base. We know, we got that one. We got that one. Okay, so this is some other stuff that was going on Twitter. He left it open technically. So if a person is short one share of AMC, okay, and this is a huge question, okay, that I have messages in to a bunch of my brokers at different brokerage exchanges to find out the answer to this question. What about the shorts? What happens if you're short a share of AMC going into this dividend? Are you going to have to come up with the dividend? Because that's how it normally works. If I was short a share of AT&T and I held through the dividend period, I would owe the person that I borrowed that share from not only the share of AT&T, but also the dividend. That's a risk you take going short. But with this special dividend, it's really what does the short owe to the person that they borrowed that share from? And I'm wondering if that isn't potentially the reason that some of you are getting the answer of, well, we're only going to give you a penny. Is that because your shares that you have in your exchange are actually borrowed out? Are your shares borrowed out on your exchange? Did somebody borrow them and short them into the market? That's a great question. Robinhood and Webull and TD, they all offer these types of things. Robert Harris, thank you so much. Let me continue into this the short situation. So you caught me off guard there. Appreciate you, brother. Just talking about you earlier. So if they need to go and find another share of APE, that means it's going to drive the price of APE up. But what I'm concerned about is the ability for Adam Aron to sell 5 billion more shares of APE into the market, because that's what this filing gives him the ability to do. So even if it does start to run up, because the shorts have to go and buy it and deliver it when they have to close their short position, there's potential for Adam Aron and AMC to be selling into that. So this guy, G.O. Rilla, says if a person is short one share of AMC, then they need to buy one APE to deliver the dividend and are still short one share of AMC, needed to close their short position. So this is just a theory that's going around on the internet right now. And we're going to find out the details of that tomorrow morning. So make sure to tune into Bulldog Trading live at the market open. We're here at 9 a.m. Before the market every single day, Monday through Friday. Other than that, let me know if you guys do have any questions, and I will get to them. I'm going to go over some questions that I had myself, and I just did a little Google Trend research here over the past 7 days. We see that AMC Dividend and AMC APE, the search history has absolutely exploded into breakout territory on Google and YouTube and around the world. Related queries in breakout status right now are AMC APE stock, preferred shares, AMC Connect, AMC Dividend, AMC stock dividend, preferred stock, AMC ticker. So it is in the news. And here's the thing: when things have eyeballs on them, they get bought. And that's why advertisers buy advertising space. And sometimes they don't even really say how good their product is or what they're selling. But all you really need is eyes on, and they get bought. So we've seen AMC rise. We saw it rise on Friday. A lot of this search volume was on Friday as well. So I expect to see more eyes on AMC and potentially, some more action on AMC. But I'm not sure exactly how happy the whole community is. And you know what? I'll just take a poll in the chat right now. Boom. Happy about the AMC APE dividend? From what I'm reading on Twitter and elsewhere, it's almost break even as far as people are happy about it. Because, we're going to have this new ticker named APE. There's going to be a new stock. But then there's the dilution factor. One Shot GT, what's good, my bro? Appreciate you coming over and saying what's up, dog. So that's the Google Trends, what's happening there. Here's the rules on special dividends, and this is what makes this different than a normal dividend. For special dividend, the ex-dividend date is set according to the size of the dividend in relation to the price of the security. And dividends or distributions of less than 25% are subject to the regular rules for ex-dividends. Now, the way that AMC structured this with their dates in the release, they structured it as a special dividend. And that's important because it means they expect the price of APE to trade for over 25% of the value of the entire stock. So dividends that or distributions of more than 25% are subject to special rules for ex-dividend dates. Major difference here is for these larger distributions or dividends, the ex-dividend date is set as the day after the payment date. And that's what I noticed originally about this that caught me off guard. I'm like, wait, this is not your standard dividend. The ex-dividend date is after the payment date, and that's not normal. Yeah, I hear you, Tristan. I hear you. Short sellers, Tristan says in the chat, short sellers said a dividend in general would make them fearful. Adam delivered. This is the pounce. And while it did answer a lot of questions, and it did answer a lot of what the retail trader wanted him to do, it also it also backdoored the retail investor into allowing dilution in the AMC. So it's a double-edged sword here. And that's why I'm really wondering what your guys' take is on this. What? Your acid burn? Crazy. What's up, acid? Been a long time, brother. Change the name. So for these larger special dividends, the ex-dividend date is generally one stock trading day after the dividend payment date. So what this means and why it's important, okay, and what you guys are going to want to take note of is by the closing day of August 19th, that's when you have to own AMC to be the shareholder that is entitled to this dividend by the closing date on August 19th. On August 22nd, the reason they're so far away is because August 19th is a Friday and the 22nd is a Monday. The reason they're so far away is because of the weekend. But if you own it on the 19th, you get issued that and it becomes tradable on the Monday. So if you're holding it at the close of business on Friday, and from what I've read, this includes pre-market and after hours. Okay, but I am not 100 on that. Okay, so you never know what's going on because they change the rules all the freaking time in the stock market. So if you want to be sure that you are entitled to this dividend, you need to own AMC at the close of day, August 19th. Good to hear you, or good to see you, Alberto. Benny, you don't need any AMC to ride in a kayak or go paragliding. Okay, and here's this just more of the same here. To be entitled to a special dividend of less than 25% of the share price, you need to be a stockholder on the record date. That's for a regular dividend. You need to be a shareholder on the record date. Now, I know there's a record date of like August 14th or 15th on this particular transaction. You do not need to be a shareholder on those days of AMC in order to be entitled to this dividend. This is a special dividend. And it says in the case of a special dividend of 25% or more, there are special rules that are quite different than a regular dividend. If you sell the stock after record date but before the ex-dividend date, your shares will be sold with a book entry, sometimes called a due bill. And there are due bill rules, which means basically you're due the dividend. It denotes that though the company will pay the dividend to your account, if you're a shareholder of record on the date 2 business prior to the record date, your account must in turn the amount of the dividend over to the buyer of your stock. So if you sell, even if you're holding AMC all the way through August 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, if you sell it before the close of the day on the 19th, you do not get that dividend because it is a special dividend. I kind of like this guy. We own over 90%. At this point, is there anything that anyone could say that would make any of us sell? Not a chance. He says. And that's totally up to you. That's totally up to you. And we talk about it all day, every day here on Bulldog Trading when the market's open. So feel free to come and join us. We have an AMC chart up all the time. We're keeping an eye on it and what's happening with it. We're making plays in the Discord, options and all that. What is the end game, says Robert Harris. The end game, in my eyes, okay, is that this enables dilution of AMC stock. AMC as a company is not surviving right now. They burnt through almost $500 million over the last few quarters, and they're not profitable. They're currently not profitable. So the only way for a company and a CEO to survive not being profitable and maybe being considered in a growth phase is to raise capital. This enables that raise of capital so that they can raise money to continue to run the business. If they do not raise capital, AMC will be bankrupt by 2026. If they do not raise capital, they will be bankrupt by 2026. Unless some type of super miracle happens and they start blowing out sales of popcorn and merch and microwave food and everything else within the next few years like no one has ever seen. So the float size, Joshua, it's interesting because the float's not going to change on AMC, but there will be a new ticker, APE, and it should have outstanding shares of 516 million, the same amount as there are AMC, because in the initial offering, they're only giving 516 million out, or one APE for every one AMC share. So as we start to see that change, that's when we know that there's some dilution happening and they're selling some AMC into the market. Of course, the rules on them reporting that don't force them to report that immediately. So it could take some time and they could sell some into the market unknowingly before we actually find out about it. That's what I'm worried about. Alberto, appreciate you, bro. And the short stock thing, we're going to find out what's going to happen to the shorts if they're short AMC. If they have to go buy APE, wonderful, right? Wonderful. There will be a run up in APE, at least in the short term. If they have to go buy APE and return that, as far as closing their position goes. So we're going to find out about the short. What's going to happen with the options? That's a great question, and there are options adjustments that happen with things like this on a regular dividend. There are options adjustments, and on a special dividend, there are options adjustments. And normally what happens is the strike price is lowered by the dividend. And that can be confusing, and I encourage you to join us in our Discord where we go over this in much more greater detail tomorrow morning at the market open. Right, William, there are no options available for the preferred shares. So there's going to be no shorting and no options available for APE for a period of time after it's listed. However, what happens with your AMC options, right? So let's say you have $20 AMC puts right now. So what's going to happen is on August 22nd, when this thing opens up, the price of AMC is going to drop. There's no doubt about that in my mind. The price of AMC is going to drop, and it's going to be reflected in the value of APE. And this is what Adam Aron said. He said, logic declares that the price of APE could be 50% and the price of AMC could be 50%. So if AMC is trading at the end of the day before the dividend, the end of the day on the 19th, if it's trading at $20, Monday he expects APE to be worth $10 and AMC to be worth $10. So what happens to your put option that you had at $20? Well, you'd think, well, I'm in the money, right? Because I'm up $10 a share. That's not most likely how it's going to work, and I'm going to be following these. There are websites. There's the OCC, which you can go and look up OCC and find out about these options contracts and the options amendments, and they have a bulletin there where these options amendments have to be listed. I'm going to be keeping an eye on those all week. to find out what's going to happen to those options, because the price of AMC will go down when APE is listed. It's basically a split. So probably your $20 strike, it could potentially turn into a $10 strike. Now, honestly, don't think that's fair, and there needs to be more clarity on it. And we're going to be continuing to clarify this situation as the week goes on. Another thing to consider here, guys, if you have orders in for AMC, if you've had that order in for $100,000 and you've had that limit order in, this is something that can happen too, is they can change your orders, and they can lower your orders, and they can cancel your orders. So on some markets, this is some information here. On some markets, after the close of business on the day before the ex-dividend date, this would be after the close of business on the 19th, before they open up on the 22nd, it's possible that all good until canceled limit, stop, and stop limit orders are automatically reduced by the amount of the dividend. So it's possible those orders are reduced by half. So be very careful with orders that you have on the books for AMC going into the close of the day on the 19th. Your orders could just be deleted. They could just be removed, but they could also be altered. So be very cautious and keep your eye on this thing. William says, I've got calls for the 19th, $14 and $15 will most likely exercise before, just in case. Right on. As long as you have a plan and you understand that those there could be significant changes, and we'll continue to update it. I know you'll be around, William. You're thinking of waiting till after the split, buying twice as many shares. I don't know exactly how it's going to work yet, William, but I keep my phone number on the screen. I'm going to keep my finger on the pulse of this thing. So just get in touch with me if you have any questions going on farther into the week. This was the, I know it's really blurry, but this was the press release essentially about AMC, talking about the ex-dividend date. One AMC preferred equity unit for each share of AMC Class A common stock at the close of business on August 15th, the record date. They call it a special dividend here. A special dividend is expected to be paid at the close of business on August 19th. So that's the date. That is the date to keep in mind if anybody wants to know. The 19th is important. Special dividends, due bill process. I've got all this information if you guys want to know more about this more complicated stuff. But the due bill, in some cases, special dividends may have different rules than regular dividends, 25%. We went over that. So if you were to sell the stock after the 15th record date, but then before the ex-dividend date, you're no longer entitled to the dividend. So if you sell it before the end of the day on the 19th, you're not entitled to the dividend, in which case your shares would be tagged with something called a due bill, which means that you're obligated to pay the dividend to the buyer. That's all handled electronically these days. Do I have a link to the previous page? This is posted in our Discord. Let me see if this link will actually work. It does. So yeah, even though it's blurry, I'll post the link in here. And here's the AMC website where you can actually download this filing and read this filing yourself. And I'll just post that in the YouTube too. In the YouTube chat if you want to take a look at that yourself and read through the actual filing. You're very welcome, Don Verenhorst. And if there are any other questions about the AMC dividend, just let me know. We covered options, we covered the short sale. Really, the only question right now is what happens if you're short AMC, you owe the dividend to the person that you borrowed the share from, but what exactly do you owe them? Do you owe them the share of APE? And that seems to be the way that it's looking, but we're going to talk to the brokers tomorrow. We're going to find out this stuff in detail. Got to get your granddad reading glasses. Yeah, sorry about that. The one blurry thing, we do have that posted in the Discord as well. And that same information is available in that AMC filing link that's listed there. No problem. Hayden, appreciate you as always. So any other questions about anything else with the market or anything with AMC or for me? Let me just take a look at the futures really quick here and see what we're looking like. Do I think that APE could be worth more than AMC? I absolutely do think there will be a time when APE runs up past AMC. And the reason I think that is because you cannot short it when it's first listed, and there are no options to play games with it when it's first listed. And I actually think that some AMC holders are going to sell AMC to buy APE. I think they hold a lot of AMC, and that's just what I think is going to happen. So I do think there will be more volatility, and there's definitely going to be some action to be had on this APE ticker as it trades on the 22nd. It's going to be very, very interesting. Of course, we're going to have both tickers up, and we're going to be watching the way that they move. We're going to try to find patterns and action that we can take advantage of. El Snappy Tan, of course. Appreciate you too. Yeah, streaming out here in the studio, from the studio. I can't even get the futures to load. So Sandy Smith says, if you sell AMC before the 19th, you will be okay. If you sell AMC before the 19th, you will not be entitled to the dividend. But I also think that might be the best time to capture the most profitability on this trade is selling at some point before the 19th to capture the most profitability on this trade safely. And that's not saying to sell AMC. You guys do what you will, you know. Of course, ex-dividend date is the 22nd. That's correct. That means the date in which you buy it and you are not entitled to the dividend. It is the ex-dividend date. You are not entitled to the dividend if you buy it on the ex-dividend date. Arctic Fox, good to see you. So yeah, I think we're going to go back to our regularly scheduled programming here. We have crypto charts on for a little bit longer this evening, and then at 4 a.m. when pre-market opens, we're going to have stock charts up, and we'll be following the futures. We'll be capturing some of that FOMO and ONO action as soon as the market opens. We're going to see some dips. We're going to see some rips. Megal's going to be interesting. ILIS is going to be interesting. There's been some serious rippers last week. We just had like some of the record-breaking halt days. So this is great timing, really, for this APE thing to happen for AMC as meme stocks have come back in. The options on like BBBY were up 1,800% on calls. Slippery, forgot to tell you, Bulldog. What? You got your own woo-woo acid? Are you in the Discord still? You got to send me. Well, you have my number. It'll be on the screen here in a minute. Send me a picture, bro. You got your own woo-woo? That's hella cool. Yes, absolutely. We can add Crow Dawn to the charts. I know that we have Crow in our watch list on the crypto stream. So you're just going to hold AMC until death. They made you some great memories and profits. Why not hold a few shares? You know, and that's a great way to look at it. What I'm concerned, the people that I'm concerned for are not the people like you, BD. The people that I'm concerned for are people that are holding their entire life savings in AMC from $30 a share. Those are the ones that I'm concerned for, and I want to just make sure and look out for those people. I think it's great to hold a few shares. I'll be holding a few shares through this process. I'll actually also be holding a few shares short through this process to find out exactly how this is going to work. You didn't see it on the watch list? Oh, well, I'll make sure that it's on there, Don. 100%. And with that, I'm going to return to our regularly scheduled programming. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell, we're going to continue to update you guys on every possible piece of information about this particular subject as we can, and just bring you overall value in the stock market and in life. So with that, much love, fam. I appreciate every single one of you coming out. T2, Gone Postal, Benny Alvarado, Heidenreich, Don Varenhorst, BD, The Shape in the house. Much love, guys. Drop those green hearts in the chat. You know how we like it. Absolutely freaking full, because we like that green on the screen. We're going to see a ton of that this week. Much love.
One, booster ignition, focus discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions.
Super Chat.
Two, one, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions.
Super Chat.
about coming in with the super chat. And for you, Robert Harris, the double back-to-back super duper super chat. Thank you. One shot. Much love.